Hi INFJs. So the holiday season is in full swing. I mean, Christmas is just a few days away. So I wanted to talk about something that goes unspoken within the INFJs and autistic INFJs, and it's how deeply we feel the emotional weight of this time of year, right? Christmas is heavy. It's really heavy. As I record this, I don't know if I already mentioned this, but it's December 23rd, so it's just a few days away from Christmas. And even myself, I can feel the weight of this time of year. Christmas is often painted joyful, as magical, full of connection, but for INFJs, it can feel very overwhelming, emotionally draining, and actually quite lonely. And many INFJs don't even like this time of year. So today I wanted to talk about why this season feels so intense, and how to navigate these emotions, and how to really enjoy this holiday season and make lasting memories. So if you're new to my channel, welcome. My name's Trina. I'm an INFJ and I'm also autistic. I created this channel with hopes of helping people like myself feel seen, heard, understood, and less alone. Plus, I wanted somewhere I could share resources, things that have helped me. So don't forget to check out the resource section in the description of this video. I also help INFJs heal their self-love through coaching, connection, community, and classes. So welcome to my channel. If you're returning, I'm glad you came back. I am so grateful for all you viewers. You guys are amazing, truly amazing. And if you haven't yet, I invite you to subscribe to my channel and like this video. I would appreciate the support. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about is something that I call emotional amplifier effect. As INFJs and autistic INFJs, we are just naturally attuned to those emotions, like massively everybody else's emotions, right? We don't just notice these feelings, we absorb them. So when we're going into a holiday gathering, all these things are coming at us. But really what's interesting, what makes the holiday season even more intense is that emotions are so high with everybody, not just INFJs. People are feeling all sorts of emotions, joy, yes, but also stress, grief, loss, loneliness, tension, all of that. Lots of stress. If you live in North America with the economy, I know up here in Canada, the economy is struggling. Stress is high right now. Tension is high. Grief is high. That is all coming at us and we're feeling it deeply. Now, if you're an autistic INFJ, you're feeling it even at a much deeper level. We're absorbing it, right? So this can make it feel very heavy. What I mean by this is, say you're at a family gathering and two family members have tension between them. I know they had a falling out, had nothing to do with us, but we walk in the room, we can feel that tension like it's our own. And I know for me, when this would happen, I would take it on as my own. I could feel the tension between them and my tummy would knot up and my shoulders would tense up. I would end up with a massive headache because I could not handle the tension. I didn't know at the time what to do for it. So what is it that we do when this happens? Because we can feel it very deeply, right? It is there. It's true. It's really there. We are really feeling it that deeply. One thing that really helps me is to step back and take a moment to ground yourself. I ground myself many times. When I'm around people, I need to continually ground myself. I'm always doing it. So step outside. If you can, step outside for just a few moments. It doesn't take long. Take a few deep breaths. Maybe even just slide on over to a quiet room where there's not a lot of people, or maybe it's just kids playing. It's a little easier to ground yourself when it's just kids playing. Take a few breaths and get back into your body. You know, maybe there's a tray of nuts. Did you know nuts are a grounding food? Eat some nuts while you're taking some deep breaths. Don't choke on your nut. That'd be horrible. But just get back into your body, into this present moment. By doing this, we can acknowledge what is ours. So going back to that example I said about the tension, we can say, is this my tension? No, it's not. It's not mine. It has nothing to do with me. Simply by acknowledging it, by bringing awareness to it, can make a world of difference. You'll feel that you're starting to relax. When I do this, I can feel the tension in my shoulders starting to relax, and the knots in my tummy are going away, and I can start to really enjoy myself. The next thing I want to talk about is unmet expectations. INFJs, we have this deep vision of what the holidays should be like, should feel like, the conversations, the moments of true connections, right? This is what we think. It's going to be all this cool, magical thing. And our vision is very deep. It's very vivid. And this is what it's going to be like. But often In reality, it's not going to be that way. It's not going to be that way. It's going to be totally different. Maybe it's going to be rushed. Maybe the conversations are going to stay at surface level. And that's probably exactly what's going to happen, right? I mean, when we see people, I'm just going to be honest with it. When we see these family members once a year and we say hi to them, how you doing? What else is there to talk about? In all reality, right? What else is there to talk about? We live very different lives. So that conversation is going to stay very surface level. Chances are we're not going to get that deep, meaningful connection, that conversation. It's going to feel rushed. And this gap that we have between our expectation and really what is happening can actually feel very heavy for us. Very, very heavy. So simply shifting a focus from it being magical to small, meaningful Christmas without any expectations is huge. I live my life a lot without having expectations because of this vision that we tend to have, our idealism. We think it's going to be this particular way, and reality hits and it doesn't go. And nothing ever goes as planned, right? But we will take this and feel that very deeply, and it will slow us down and make life very difficult. Christmas is no different. The holiday season is no different. So step back, go without any expectations. Again, we want to ground ourselves, step back and enjoy. Once we ground ourselves, we can enjoy small moments. And you know what? This is going to sound crazy, but simply watching a Christmas tree light glow on the Christmas tree in silence is huge. Or hanging on to a brief moment where you might have actually felt seen. I know I rolled my eyes when I read about these small moments years ago when I was working on myself, and I read about these small moments and I'm like, how can these be of any meaning? They are so powerful. These small moments is where magic truly lies. It truly is, but we need to slow down. We need to ground ourselves to notice them. And those are the moments that I hang on to when I have to go do gatherings at Christmas time. I love Christmas lights. I love them, and I will sit and watch them. I'll be the weird one in the room watching the Christmas lights just because that's what makes me feel good and I enjoy it. The next thing, number 3, is feeling out of place, which was huge for me. Still is. I always feel out of place. I'm always the alien, but I'm okay with it now. We're surrounded by friends, family, maybe coworkers over the holiday season, and we still feel like the outsider looking in, the observer, right? We're not the participant. We're just observing everything. This happens because as INFJs and autistic INFJs, we crave that deep, meaningful connection. And the holidays, I mean, let's face it, like I said before, they're often rushed, they're shallow, and they're forced. When we feel things that are forced, that's like fake, and we have a fake radar, we don't like that. That really irritates us and it will really throw us off our game, but that's really what it's like, right? And this can make it feel very isolating. Remember that it's okay to step back, go for a walk. You know, it doesn't have to be a walk around the block, although I wouldn't put it past myself to go and do that if I just needed to get away. It could just simply being just a walk to the next room, shift into a quiet room, just to, get your center back, to get back into your body. You don't have to force yourself to fit in where you're not comfortable. So just remove yourself from that situation, and that's okay. Sometimes giving yourself permission to just be without trying to match the energy in the room can bring a sense of peace. That's huge for me, giving myself permission to just be. I do this lots. So I wanted to talk about a little bit. Like, all these things are very helpful and I have used them all, but I wanted to share with you really what was the most helpful for me. And it goes along with giving yourself permission to just be. I gave myself permission to just be me. And for me, I'm not saying that you're like this because, yeah, you could be an INFJ or autistic INFJ. It doesn't mean that we're all the same. We have very similar feelings and thoughts about things and experiences, but we are not all the same. So this may or may not work for you, and that is okay either way. But what works for me is I don't do Christmas gatherings a whole lot, ever. If I want to go to them, I will go. But if I don't want to go, I will decline without feeling guilty about it. And if I do go, chances are I'm not going to stay for very long, and I'm okay with standing back on the sidelines and just watching things going on. I'm okay with that. And I don't really care if people have a big deal about it. That was a big thing years ago, is I felt that I had to do them. I had to go to Christmas gatherings. And it would ruin my Christmas. And I remember thinking to myself, why can't I just stay home? I just want to stay at home. I want to hang out with my son. I want to hang out with my dogs. I want to go outside snowshoeing. I want to go tobogganing. I want to head out into the forest. I don't want to go to this big family gathering. I don't go anymore. I don't care what people think, their judgments or whatever. A big, huge thing for me was understanding that people are going to judge you no matter what. And when they do, it's really about them, not about us. We will bring up things that are deep inside of them, reminding them of things that are going on within them. And it's easier to judge somebody than it is to look in the mirror. And they're probably never going to understand you. And it's really not up to them to understand us at all. So I gave myself permission to not do them if I don't want to do them. And I seldom ever do them. I will go if it's going to be a very small gathering. By small, I mean like 4 people. Although I will go if it's a little bit bigger than that. But if it's huge, I generally will not go, depending on what's going on and what I feel like, right? But that was huge. When I do go to gatherings, I use the tips that I just shared with you. Mostly it's just grounding, keeping myself grounded and pulling back when I need to have a look at what's going on. How am I feeling? And if it's not mine, I give it back. I use that, but really it's okay if you don't want to. That's who we are. That's just who we are, and it's fine. We're an introverted personality type. A lot of people will mistake us for extroverts because when we are put in that situation where we are in a family gathering, we can talk the ear off a deaf elephant. Yeah, that's the right statement I wanted to make. We could talk and talk and talk, right? And it could be killing us deep inside because it's all surface level and we'll force ourselves to do it. I don't do that anymore. If I don't want to talk, I'm not going to talk. And if they have a problem with it, I think they should go work on themselves because it's my life and it's my choice and they're not going to understand. So I don't even feel the need to explain myself anymore because I know they're not going to understand. Unless they've experienced what it's like to be us, which I can guarantee they haven't, they're not going to understand at all. I just wanted to say that. I mean, it was huge for me just giving myself permission to be me. That was really a huge stepping stone for me, and letting go of that fear of being perceived by everybody else. That is something we cannot control. And it's very powerful once we learn what we can control and work with it and what we can't control. I mean, the only thing we can control is us, essentially is us, right? So we can control how we show up, our thoughts around that situation, and everything else is completely out of our control, and letting go of it. And I did. I just pictured letting go. I let go of it. I just dropped that big heavy bag and let go of it. That's what really helped me out to enjoy the holiday season. And I do spend Christmas quite differently than most other people because I don't enjoy the big family gatherings, and I like the small things, and I enjoy spending time out in the forest, and that's really what I enjoy doing. So that's what we do. So I just wanted to share that because it made a huge difference for me. Take care of your heart. Give yourself the grace, the space. Let yourself find those quiet moments, the peace and the joy. If you have found ways to navigate this holiday season, I would love for you to share them as well. If you have found different things that have worked for you, because it can feel so heavy, so many mixed emotions with everybody. I mean, everybody's feeling these emotions, going around. They're not all absorbing them like we are, but they're feeling it. But the season, it doesn't have to be perfect and it doesn't have to be meaningful, but we can still enjoy it. So I hope this was helpful for you. Again, if you found ways to navigate this holiday season, I'd love to hear. If you're willing to share, we can help each other. Again, I hope this was helpful. Thanks for joining me, and I will see you soon with another video. I won't have another long video until after the Christmas season, so I wish you well and a Merry Christmas, or whatever holiday it is that you're celebrating. I wish you well and all the magic for it. Talk to you soon. Bye for now.